doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be heavy. And Dominic, it doesn't have to be hard and heavy. You get to have fun in the process. Okay, I think I needed this pep talk. Good morning. It is my last morning here in Granada. And I want to talk about something that occurred to me when I was watching Instagram this morning. And there's a creator I follow, I think Sorrel something. She has a large YouTube following. And she was sharing about how she was learning drums, how to drum. And it was like day 7 of her doing it. And she had such joy in the learning process of doing that. And what it made me realize was I was having a conversation with a texting conversation with a friend earlier this week, and she's struggling financially. And so I had said, I was like, have you ever considered doing TaskRabbit in Toronto? You know, I did it when I moved to Toronto, and I actually shockingly kind of enjoyed it. And then she responded and she was like, you're crazy. Like, you enjoy the weirdest thing. Like, you served because you enjoyed talking to people. It was kind of like a funny joke, but I've been thinking about it a lot since. And I think that's what's allowed me to continue to grow and develop and hit, goals that I've wanted to hit, and achieve financial goals the way I've achieved them is because I find ways to enjoy the process. And if you watched a previous video of mine, I talk about learning to enjoy the process. So I'll link that video because that was definitely something I learned and developed, was learning how to enjoy the process. But I do think now that I look back in the last couple of years, I've been able to hit, significant financial goals of mine because I've learned to enjoy the process of getting there. And so if I think about my journey to where I am now, I am a digital nomad. Actually, that's not true. That's a lie. I work remotely and I have the freedom to travel wherever I want because I work remotely. And so this month, I've been in Nicaragua. I'm going back to Toronto. I'm probably going to find my own apartment. But then, in November, I'm going to go to Bhutan for a photography trip. And that's possible because I learned the skills that allowed me to have this life of location independence. And how I learned those skills was a lot simpler because I enjoyed the process of learning the skills. I enjoyed the process of figuring out Klaviyo and email marketing, figuring out how to get clients on Upwork, right? That actually was a process I enjoyed, was learning how to get clients on Upwork, learning how to get bigger clients on Upwork. And then when I started looking for an actual full-time role, initially I was super overwhelmed with how to get a job because I had never formally done a job application or job search before. I had either run my own business, happened upon jobs just because I just found them. And so I had very rarely actually done a job search. And so when I started doing a job search 2 years ago, I was actually super overwhelmed. And then I hired a coach and he broke it down for me. And then I really enjoyed the process. I know it's going to sound weird, but I enjoyed the process of doing the outreach. I enjoyed the process of practicing my 2-minute thing of who am I. I enjoyed the process of how to get better. And I was talking about it with actually a friend I met up here with it, Granada. We met 3 years ago in Paros, Greece. And so we were talking, and she's been job searching. And so I said, hey, have you been posting on LinkedIn? And she said, no, I have been posting on LinkedIn, but I'm not getting much traction. And I said, I can give you some feedback. Actually, I didn't say that. I just gave her the feedback. I just said, I think the goal shouldn't be getting, getting views from your content. The goal should be having content so your profile is trustworthy, so then when you reach out to people and you develop connections, people know who you are and then you stay top of mind. And I think what I'll do is I'll do another video on LinkedIn because I enjoy it. But I enjoyed the process. Yes. Was I worried? Yes. Was I frustrated sometimes? Was I unsure if it was going to work out? Yes. Those are all natural human emotions. And, did I always enjoy cleaning other people's houses? No. And I was able to, as a whole, enjoy the process of doing it. And so I think that is honestly the secret to being able to get what you want in life, is learning how to enjoy learning how to enjoy getting there. And so if I think about one of my next major goals is to get into a healthy body. And I want to feel good in my body. I want to look good in my body. And so that's actually my goal. My brother's getting married in September. And so we have March, April, May, June, July, August. So I have 6 months. And I want to enjoy the process of getting fit, of getting hot. And so I am certain there are going to be days I'm going to be upset or frustrated or sad or whatever. But as a whole, my intention is to be able to enjoy the process of developing muscle, losing weight, feeling stronger in my body, feeling better in my body. And I think when I do that, the process will inevitably happen. And so that's my next fun major goal, is that. And I want to enjoy the process. And then I also am going to start working on my next film, my next short documentary. And I want that to be fun. I feel, even saying this, things have been so heavy for so long for me, with my sister's death and leading up to her death. And I just felt like the weight of the world is on my shoulders. And so even talking about this makes me feel good, makes me feel excited to go after what I want. And I want to enjoy the process. We don't get the process back, we don't get this life back. And so let's figure out how to enjoy it while we're figuring it out, rather than just crossing our fingers and just being miserable until it happens. Because if that's what happens, is we just cross our fingers and are I can't wait, I need a job, I can't wait, then that experience is miserable. And then of course you don't want to go after another goal, or you don't want to pursue another thing or whatever, because it's it felt so hard. And as I'm saying this, I have this coach right now, and I remember telling him hey, I could list 100 things, and I feel fairly certain I could accomplish those 100 things. But it just doesn't make me excited, because I just know, it just feels hard. And so as I'm saying this, that's, I think what was missing for me is making goals that I'm excited about the process of doing. If I think about a goal of my next documentary, what makes me excited is finding the story, connecting with the characters in the story, learning how to tell a better story, learning how to shoot a better story. Right now, actually, I think that's a big irritation of mine, is like I don't feel like I know how to shoot what I want it to look like. And so, like, even I feel like irritated and irked right now thinking about it. But that could be fun. That could be a fun process of like learning how to be better at shooting angles and all those things. And then learning how to get sponsors, learning how to get partners, learning how to fund it. Like, that could be a fun experience for me. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be heavy. And Dominic, it doesn't have to be hard and heavy. You get to have fun in the process. You know, it's okay. You can enjoy the process. It doesn't have to be hard and heavy, Dominic. It doesn't have to be hard and heavy. You can think about having fun. Okay. I think I needed this pep talk. And so I'm glad I recorded this pep talk for me. And I'm hoping if you watch this, it's going to give you something. And we get to have fun. Okay. Until next time, magic and miracles. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.